Driving down the back road, the same ones that our parents did, just trying to make her own way, half-taking pack of cigarettes. She would pour out the bench seat so we could fit more kids in, chasing sunrise till we sleep. Everyone was more golden. That 440 with the family, boys and girls wanna get out. Another crossing sun up ahead, one about another watch out. That 440 advancing, all going up in good town. We swore one day we would leave, and then we took that car out. Everybody's dressed up, wearing the high school best, high top kicks and flannel shirts. You in a flat skirt never hurt. And we swore one day we could be like the folks that ever been. We wouldn't stop till we got there. That 440 to the family, boys and girls wanna get out. Another crossing sun up ahead, one about another watch out. That 440 advancing, all going up in good town. We swore one day we would leave, and then we took that car out. And we used to name kids named after places the folks have never been. And we're pretty sure one day we could get there. And we used to name kids named after places the folks have never been. But without me, I was sure Brooklyn could get there.
Good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday. Welcome to another edition of the Morning Buzz, the new and improved Morning Buzz. I've got a fresh haircut, so I'm feeling new and improved. That band is the Small Kicks. That's my band. It's Small Kicks Week here at the show. We are playing Friday night, and I know I keep talking about it, but we are playing Friday night at Barrel House. So excited. The first show back at Barrel House in over 2 years. It's been over 2 years since we've played there. The last show we played at Barrel House, it was a 40th birthday party celebration for the owner, Jason, and his wife, Rebecca. They were turning 40, I think. Yeah, it was their 40th birthday. So we threw a big party and played lots of fun 90s or 80s and 90s music. I don't remember. But so we'll be there again this Friday. And apparently it's supposed to be a good crowd. So get there early. We go on at 5:30, and it'll be a homecoming of sorts. Today is Wednesday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Yes, happy Cinco de Mayo. If anybody can give me an idea, if you know what the significance of Cinco de Mayo is, then please, by all means, tell me. There's no prize. There's no prize involved. It's just you showing us how smart you are. So happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody out there. It's a beautiful week weather-wise. The sun is gorgeous. It's out, and my son, I dropped him off at football this morning, and he told me that it was 99 degrees yesterday in Templeton, yesterday afternoon. I don't know if that's just like high schooler talk or if it really was 99 degrees yesterday, but We were in Santa Maria down at Rigetti for the girls' volleyball game in the afternoon, and it was like 70, 75 degrees, which is warm for Santa Maria. But yeah, 99 degrees. I don't think it was 99 degrees yesterday, was it? Unless I'm like completely wrong. Oh, my wife just sent me a nice little secret text. Good to know, Allison. Good to know. Um, so today we've got a busy show for you. Lots of stuff to cover today. We have Amanda Moore coming on at 7:20 to give us her 75 hard update, and Mr. Max coming on at 7:30. Eric Lewis will be in the house at 7:45. Coach Crow going to do a football wrap up today at 7:40 or 8 o'clock. And then Mr. Aspel and Mr. Burnett, one of the two, if not both of them, will be in at 8 o'clock to talk about the district happenings. And then Coach Farley has agreed to come on the show today, Wednesday, give us an update. And I heard somebody say, my wife reminded me, today is Coach Farley's birthday. So we will sing happy 23rd birthday to Coach Farley, or however old he is. It looks like he's about 16. So Coach Farley, it's your birthday. You will get a happy birthday wish from the Morning Buzz this morning. Elder Charlie Reed, Pastor Charlie Reed says, Cinco de Mayo is an annual celebration held on May 5th. The date is observed to commemorate the Mexican Army's victory over the French Empire at the Battle of Puebla on May 5th, 1862, under the leadership of General Ignacio Zaragoza. There you go. All right. Thank you, Pastor Reed, for sending me that note. That's the significance of Cinco de Mayo. Shelly Watt Domingos says, looking good, buddy. Yeah, Shelly, just so you know, you're shaming of me publicly about my hair. It turns out it worked because I had a complex about it all weekend when you called my hair. You said I looked like the scarecrow. My hair looked like straw. And so that prompted me to just, I guess, seek alternative hairstyles. But just so you know, oh, hold on, I lost my screen here. I'm gonna show you guys a picture here. Share the screen. Okay, there we go. Screen one, share. Okay, so this is yesterday. I took a screenshot. That's the photo of me yesterday, the hairstyle that I showed Julie. And this is, and my hair's a little wet right now, so it's kind of funny, but this is kind of what we went with. Let me see here. I mean, she got it pretty close, don't you think? This is the side view. I know the camera's a little crooked, but bear with me. Anyways, you get the point. I think she did a pretty good job. I was quite happy with it. Yeah, there it is. There's a good shot. Shelly says, "You're welcome, Allison." That's great. Yeah, I think she nailed it. I'm excited about the haircut. I like the length on top. I like keeping it a little longer on top. It gives me a little more options. Tony Domingo says, "Looks great, Mike. You don't look homeless anymore." Thank you, Tony. Yes, that's always a good thing, I guess. That's funny because I feel homeless still. No, yeah. Look, hey, all you older guys out there over 40 that are throwing hate, what do they call it, shade on my game? I've got it, so I'm gonna just do what I want with it. All right, I'm not gonna lose it. It's thick. I'm just running with it. You know what? This time last year, I had bright blue, long hair. So, yeah, let me see if I can find a picture of me last year here. Yeah, hair's always been a funny thing for me. I've always been a little mad because I have straight hair. And so like it's been super hard to do different things with it over the years. I'm sorry, I'm just going through my Instagram feed here. Um, this was a good look. I like the blue. Um, let me see if I can find, yeah, the blue cowboy hat look. There, right here. Here's a good one. So this is last year, blue hair. And I think I might go back to the blue hair at some point, but um, actually my hair's never grown the same since then. When was this? That was 53 weeks ago. Okay. April 22nd, 2020 is when I had the blue hair. So there you go. Uh, yep. All right. Oh, sweet blue bonnet upon it. Yes, exactly, Lori. I had blue hair 53 weeks ago during the COVID cover challenge. That was a fun time. We had with that 2 week. Remember we did that 2 week stay at home older. When you get older, you will realize our hair does not define us. Spoken like somebody losing their hair. Good job, Tony. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Hair does not define us. I just can't wait to get old enough to realize that. I'm vain, I guess. Lead singer of a freaking band, and I have a morning show. Of course, I worry about these things. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, we did this 2 week stay at home order last year. I don't know if you guys remember this thing, but the government, all the world's governments decided to shut the whole world down in like a day, and they said, "Hey, I want everybody to stay home for 2 weeks, and then we'll flatten the curve." Well, that 2 weeks, I started doing the song challenge, and bless you, Shelly Domingos. Okay, here we go. Everybody likes the hair. Um, so I started singing songs every day and challenging other people. And that 2 week song challenge turned into a 50-day straight song challenge. And so in the midst of it, I lost a bet to a customer and had to, the customer made me grow my hair out because I had the mohawk. I had a real short mohawk, kept the mohawk for about a year and a half. And then the customer made me grow the hair out, and I said, well, if I'm going to grow the hair out, then I'm going to dye it, and I'm going to have fun with it and do my covers with blue hair. And so that's what I did. I did blue hair song challenges. Let me see if I can find the mohawk. I almost went back to the mohawk yesterday just because a buddy of mine who's battling some lymphoma cancer, lymphoma, is losing his hair, and so he allowed his kids to cut his hair into a mohawk. And so I thought to myself, maybe I'll go mohawk and to honor him. And then I ended up not going mohawk. But here's a good shot of the mohawk. See, the mohawk to me was a nice cut. I thought. I mean, it was fun. Let's see. There it is. Let me zoom in on that. There's me and Allison. See, that's the mohawk. That wasn't bad. I mean, my hair's so straight. Like I said, it's like no matter what you do with it, it's always going to look kind of the same. So there you go. All right. Again, busy show today. The rest of the week's busy. Tomorrow, Thursday, we actually, I don't know what's on tap tomorrow yet, but Friday we will be broadcasting live from Barrel House Brewing Company. I will be out on the truck stage Friday morning at 7 a.m. Friday's artist profile is yours truly, myself, and a couple more of the Small Kicks are going to just play some acoustic songs and talk, and we'll get to know the band and just kind of take advantage of the fact that we're at Barrel House Friday night and we're showcasing ourselves. So whatever. All right, it's 7:14. It's time for us to check in with Mr. Anthony Reed. Did you ever have blue hair, Anthony? Have you ever dyed your hair blue?
No, and I don't plan on it either.
By the way, speaking of blue, the blue shirt looks really good on you this morning.
It's actually kind of a turquoise green color. So
Okay. Well, it's
yeah,
yeah, you wear it well. That's a good color for you.
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to say that you don't look a day over 40. So yeah,
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah. I think the camera adds 15 years. I feel like I'm about 20.
Yeah, yeah. I would just say I would just leave it at 40. Oh, did I lose you? Hello, are you there? Did I lose you? I can't hear you if you're talking. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Testing 1, 2. Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? La 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 la. I'm singing. Can you hear me? It's a little early in the morning to sing. Uh, yes, Tony, thank you. I had to refresh my screen. I don't know what's going on. Uh, Anthony, if you can pop back on, pop on. There we go. All right. So we were talking about. That's funny. I just gave the winning lotto numbers. Nobody heard that.
No, I didn't hear it. And I bought a
Oh,
lottery ticket last night. I didn't hear it. So
oh, okay. All right. Well, we're back. We only lost all of our viewers, but that's okay. I'm just kidding. Everyone's still here. Okay, so what's going on in the news? Any North County incidents or actions? I did see a high school kid or some kind of juvenile on Moss Lane was screwing around and rolled his truck yesterday afternoon. I noticed that, and it was a truck that I didn't recognize. So hopefully, if that's your kid, then everybody is okay. But other than that, anything going on?
no. Personally, I had a good doctor's appointment yesterday. If we
Yeah,
can talk about that a little bit. The doctor likes everything. Everything is the way it should, and I look forward to seeing him in the next 6 weeks.
that's good news. And so, what do they check? They check your healing and your scar tissue and all of that stuff.
Yeah, so it's sounding like there is I would say, a 10% chance of another scar tissue removal surgery,
Okay.
which that would just entail them putting like a little camera on the end of a stick. I'm exaggerating, but it would just be basically it's called an arthroscopic surgery.
Yep.
So basically, what that is basically they're just gonna go in, uh, put the little camera inside of my knee, and just cut away the scar tissue. So
Okay.
that'll be the second time that it's happened during this whole time in this last year. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Obviously, we're praying that that doesn't have to happen, but if it does, we're ready for whatever happens after that.
Well, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. All right. And I
Yeah.
saw you got to stop at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Did you go to the one downtown or did you go to Hollywood? Where'd you go?
Yeah, we went to the one in Hollywood on North Gower Street.
Yep.
So we've been there before, but it's been years since we've been there. And
Mhm.
so we just decided, hey, let's go there. And then as we traveled northbound 101, we stopped in Calabasas and stopped at a good friend's house
Oh, nice.
for a little bit there and
Mhm.
spent time with them. And we made it home probably around 6:30 or 7 o'clock last night.
Oh, good. So you made a day
So
out of it.
yeah,
Uh,
so it was a good
Um,
day. It was a good day.
yeah. So when my 75 hard challenge is over, I've been thinking about what types of foods I want to treat myself to or drinks. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles would not be one of them. I'm not much of a waffle guy. I don't like
Hmm.
syrup. I love fried chicken. I'm not a syrup guy. So
Well,
I could do the
well,
fried chicken, just not the waffle.
what I had yesterday, I thought was kind of interesting that I've never had before, was a chicken and waffle omelet. Now just
Oh,
picture that. Now just picture that.
yeah.
So basically, it's cut up chicken, obviously without the bone, right?
Hmm.
And the waffle is like on its own plate, and
Hmm.
so you basically just have the cut up chicken. It's pretty much like what I had at Joe's on Friday. Just add the chicken and the waffle. So
So it's almost nothing like what you had at Joe's.
no, it's not even close. Not even close.
No.
Not even close.
What is there a good place to get Southern style food here? Like, do we have
Not not on the Central Coast.
what's up with
Not
that?
no, I don't have any idea.
Yeah.
Pop Popeyes, I would say, is the only thing close to Southern California, but
Okay.
that's in San Luis, obviously. Um, and I did go to the Chicken Shack yesterday. You might know this location. You know where the old Santa Maria Brewing Company was? They're on 14th and Park.
So it's interesting that you bring that up. I drove by it yesterday, and that was the first time I realized that Santa Maria Brewing Company is no longer in Paso.
Yeah, they left late last year.
We did it. Congratulations, North County. We kicked Santa Maria out of Paso. We did it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I actually enjoyed their beer. It turns out what they do, they opened their big location in Atascadero and just decided to shut Paso down, or was there
I,
just so much
I
competition in Paso?
I don't know a whole lot of history about Santa Maria Brewing Company, but from what I do know, is that they are only in Atascadero and South County now. And
The only
so,
the, the
yeah.
only the only thing good to come out of Santa Maria is Tony Domingos. Everything else, they can have it back. So, um,
Yeah, so the Chicken
the
Shack,
chick.
they did a little soft opening last night, or yesterday. And they are a product of Hanford, California.
Okay.
We talked to the owner of it who just happened to be there. My dad, if he's still watching this, he talked to the owner a little bit, kind of as we were ordering our food. Um, and so he told him that he worked in Hanford for a period of time, and and that he had went to the one in Hanford, and subsequently he owns the one that's in Hanford, and so they're going to be branching out here uh,
Hmm.
to the Central Coast and just trying to see just how it works out here, uh, closer to the ocean. So
Okay. Awesome. I
so we'll
just
kind of see.
I just put in the chat. I want to know the best chicken in Paso. What people think. So we got the Chicken Shack now, and so I'm curious to see what people say. All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna check. I'm gonna check in with Amanda Moore. She's on her 75 hard day challenge here. Let's see if I can get her up on the screen with us. Where are you, Amanda? Are you there? Testing 1 2 3. Amanda, can you hear us? I got nothing. I got nothing. Where is she? Amanda,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh,
There you are. How are you?
I'm good. I was muted and the video was, I guess, off.
Oh, okay.
There.
But now I got you. Say hi to Anthony.
Okay. Hi, Anthony.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing well this morning.
Good.
All right. So today is officially my halfway point of
Woo!
the 75 hard challenge.
That's awesome.
And I have to be honest with you. Yesterday was a challenge for sure, and that's why they call it the 75 hard challenge, right?
Yep.
I got done with the show. I went to the gym because I had to fill up my water bottle with the good water. And then I actually parked at the gym and ran 5 miles around the neighborhood, and then went back. I had a lunch meeting and then ate lunch and then got my haircut. And as soon as I got my haircut, I raced home to meet Allison, and then we went down to Santa Maria. Didn't get home until like 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. And I still had to read. I still had half a gallon of water to drink, and I still had to do my second 45-minute workout.
But you did it.
I did it. I got done. I was done by 10:30 and in bed.
Nice.
But yeah, it was a challenge. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Today's feels like a good day because I've lost 20 pounds, not since starting Hard 75, but for the last 2 months because I was already kind of working out, and then I added in this program. So to see that today was like, yay.
That's a milestone for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you
good.
you look great. Your face, you just look so alive.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I definitely miss French fries when you guys were talking about food. I definitely, yeah, that's what I miss. I'm done with this.
Are French fries, is there gluten in them?
No, I think technically, for what you and I are doing, they would be allowed, but it doesn't seem like a very good choice.
Right.
Being that it's fried and everything. So I haven't been eating French fries.
Yeah, me neither. I thought about doing some kind of, I love the hash browns at Joe's Place. And so, but I haven't had them yet. And I thought, you know what, same with fries, right? Like, okay, technically I can have them, but it's probably not a good food choice.
Right.
So
the more protein at this point we can eat, the better. Which I'm finding it hard to get enough protein, but I'm trying to be conscious. Last night I had that yellowtail tuna that Jason talked to you about. It was good. It was really good.
Okay.
I was low on my protein, so I had that last night.
Yeah, Bradford, the buddy of mine that I train with, tells me that I should be eating my body weight in protein grams daily.
Wow.
So that's 100 and 180 grams of protein. And you figure like a protein shake with 2 scoops is 30 grams.
Right.
So that's 5 protein shakes a day.
Right. But you don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah. It's
and
hard.
how much? I don't even know how many grams of protein is like 1 egg.
I don't know. I don't know. I should know that. I'm reading that my new book is that Leaner, Thinner, Stronger book. And it's all kind of about like lifting weights and eating macros, right? So I should know how many protein grams are in an egg, but I don't.
Oh, Leaner, Fitter, Stronger? Is that what it's called?
For women. I think there's a male version too, but yeah.
That'd be funny if I read the women's version.
Yeah.
Okay. So today's day 42 for you, or?
Yep, 42.
Okay, 42. And your last day is when? Like the 6th?
It's going to be on a Tuesday.
Okay.
I think 4 weeks from yesterday.
4 weeks.
Or is it 5 weeks from yesterday? I don't know.
It's going to be on the 8th.
Okay, yeah, Tuesday the 8th.
Tuesday the 8th, right before your daughter graduates high school.
Exactly. Yep.
Do you have something besides French fries that you're looking forward to having?
I have missed sweets. Like I still want to eat sweets, even though I can't. Maybe that's why I want to so bad. But so I
Yeah.
think I'll enjoy a couple, gummy bears here and there, peanut
Okay.
M&Ms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to an ice cold beer, and it doesn't even have to be an alcoholic beer. It could be a non-alcoholic beer. Just that taste on your mouth, that aftertaste, that beer aftertaste I miss, but there's a lot of good non-alcoholic choices out there right now. They're just not gluten-free.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And typically the non-alcoholic beer still has trace amounts of alcohol, so you're still getting a little bit of that sugar in there. So that's why I've kind of just steered completely clear of it.
Right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to an ice cold beer, maybe a Corona or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Well, keep going, and then we'll check back with you next week.
Thank you.
All right.
Keep
See
up
you,
the good
Amanda.
work. Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. See ya.
All right, Anthony. When do you start your 75 hard challenge?
Who said I was doing it?
I don't know. I think it's a prerequisite to go to the next level with the show. I think everybody that contributes to the show has to get in it. Mr. Mack, are you in?
I'm gonna wait for Anthony.
You may want to be ready in September because that's when I'm ready to get back on my feet. So
Okay.
Okay.
September.
we'll
That
talk
would
about
be-
it. We'll talk about it.
Let's go, Anthony. You and I, transformation challenge. 6 grams of protein in an egg. Thank you very much, Mr. Lewis. Gosh, that guy's just full of knowledge.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Anthony, we're going to talk high school activities and sports. So I'll let you go, and then we'll check back with you here briefly in somewhere around the top of the hour.
All right. No worries. I'll be ready for you.
All right, man. See ya.
All right. See ya.
Okay. So Amanda misses French fries, and I miss an ice cold beer. Are there any diet restrictions that you have that you've cut out, like different things where you just like, if you could eat it all the time, you would?
I don't know. We eat pretty healthy around my house. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could always cut back on the ice cream. Ice cream's kind of
Oh.
my thing. Yeah, I like ice cream.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't
Are
do
you-
the thing. I don't do any of that. So don't need to cut that out.
Are you a Rocky Road guy? What are you?
No, I'm a mint chip guy, but it's got to be white mint.
Interesting. White mint. I've never even heard of that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So Breyers. Yeah, I don't know why. There's just a different taste to me, the green and the white. So
Breyers
kinda
is delicious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Breyers cookies and cream was mine.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
a
good.
big sweets or ice cream guy, but if I had to eat ice cream, it would be Breyers cookies and cream.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I like cookies and cream. Double fudge brownie thing. I mean, that's good too. Yeah.
Mm.
I like a lot of them.
Yeah. All right. All right. So real quick, let's get the important stuff out of the way. Did you notice I got a haircut?
I did notice.
Okay.
But I noticed it specifically because you're not wearing your Templeton hat today.
That's right. I took it off.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to give Julie out at the warehouse in Paso
Nice.
a good endorsement and show the people that it's an actual real, I look like a human.
Her phone's ringing off the hook right now.
Yeah. And look, to be honest with you, she's fully booked out and she's not taking any new clients. She's actually now has, after my hair has been showcased, she now has clients canceling on her, which I told her it's probably not a good thing to have me endorsing you. But no, Julie's awesome. So I got the haircut and I'm showing it off. So
Awesome.
I've known you for 4 years now and you've kept the same hair.
Yes, sir.
Is that like you do it yourself?
I do a good portion of it, and then my wife gets all the parts that I can't see that I missed. Yeah.
Yep. Cleans up the edges and
Yep.
I like it. Easy.
Yep.
Simple.
Every 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a. Is there a certain day that you guys do it? Like, oh, it's the second and fourth Sunday of the month. Time to cut the
Nah.
hair.
No, it's always on the weekend though. If it goes 3 weeks, you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it looks good. I like it
Thanks.
short.
Thank you.
All right, so we went down to Rigetti. The girls fought hard yesterday. They actually, they're playing. They're just so darn close.
Yeah, if you look at those scores, man, I mean, you can't get much closer than that. 24-26 loss, 17-25. Okay, that's a little bit, 8 points. Then they win 26-24, and then they lose 27-29. I mean,
and they should have won the first set. It was game point, our serve, and we netted. And then after that, Rigetti won, and then the second game we were just defeated, which is the 17-25 score.
Yeah.
But then the girls kind of dug deep and clawed back, and yeah, I mean, it was just they're close, you know. So tonight, I'm looking forward to the rematch. I think I don't think they're going to lose tonight. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to win in 4. I think that it's just, you know, it's Abby's last game.
Yeah.
It's Lindsay's last game. It's Summer's last game. Who are the other seniors that I'm missing?
Tawny. Did you say Tawny?
Tawny's last game. Who else?
I think that's it.
4 of them, right? Yeah. So I have a good feeling about tonight. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I think the enthusiasm of being senior night, last game at home. I think that's enough to put when you're that close. I think it's enough to put that over the edge. You know, Mike, I got to tell you, there's nothing more frustrating in volleyball than watching a volleyball game and watching somebody put the ball in the net on a serve.
Yeah. And Allison brought up a great point too. Back before they changed the rules to give you points, when it was just when you'd play for a side out, and you weren't getting a point for that. She said that it was interesting because it felt like you would play your guts off to get that ball back.
Yeah.
Versus knowing that, I'm just going to get a point. You know what I mean? And then they only played to 15 back then, so it was just different dynamic. But yeah, I mean, game point serving into the look, it happens.
Yeah, absolutely,
and it happens to the best players.
Yeah,
but it is super frustrating.
Yeah, it just seems like it's such a big court. Just get it over the net. The net's not moving. Right?
I know.
I mean, but I totally understand because they're trying to put it a certain place and they're trying to put some speed on it or whatever. They're trying to do something. So I totally get it. Hey, we had some other sports last night. Guys soccer tied 2-2. Girls soccer lost 1-0, which is a heartbreaker. But I'll tell you, boy, that league that the girls are in, and the guys too, but the girls, they got some powerhouse squads along with us that are in that league. And our boys volleyball, they had a couple of tough games in their match. They lost 3-0, but their last 2 games, they lost 21-25 and 20-25. I mean, they're right there, young squad. Yeah. So just wish you had a longer season to see them get over the hump there. But.
I know, but you know what? This is like this is like summer league, right? We're going to be back in effect next year. I'm getting feedback now. It's interesting. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a bummer, but especially for the seniors that aren't going to be around. But are there seniors on the boys volleyball team? There's 1.
2.
Okay.
Austin Wright and Tom Hamilton.
Okay. Austin and Tom. And do they play other sports or just volleyball?
I think just volleyball. I think. Not sure on that.
Okay. So the senior night tonight is they're going to do some kind of celebration announcements and honor the seniors. I heard it's at 4:30. Is that what you heard?
Let's see. They are scheduled for girls volleyball on Coach Farley's schedule. They are scheduled for 5:00.
The game starts at 5.
That's what's on the schedule right now. But
Yep. Yeah. So the game starts at 5, and then they will do the senior thing after or before. What do you think?
I'm not sure, because when I talked to Coach Farley yesterday, and everything is in flux, but they had talked about perhaps doing the guys and girls. Wait, are the guys playing at the same time? I mean,
They'll play after. Yeah.
So my understanding was there was some thought about combining the two. I'm not sure. I don't want to throw things off. And
Well, I'll press Joe when he gets on. He's coming on at 8:30
great.
this morning. And it's his birthday today. He's 22.
22 again.
Yeah, 22 again. Yeah.
Awesome. That's
No,
awesome.
So yeah, today is his birthday. So make sure you wish him happy birthday.
Absolutely.
All right. So we talked soccer. We talked volleyball. Let's see. Did you catch? Coach Cherry was on the other day talking basketball.
I did not, because I had to get class. I was in class.
Okay.
Did he? What do you have to share?
He just talked about the fact that they have 8 seniors, and next year they're gonna have a lot of juniors on the team, and which is good for the following year, right? Because then it'll be a senior heavy squad again.
Right.
But he's glad that the boys are playing, and he's hopeful. He said that in January, if you would have asked him if he thought there'd be a season, his answer was no way, right? So
Right.
he's extremely grateful for the opportunity to get these boys back out there. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
What else is going on? How's Staff Appreciation Week going?
Staff Appreciation Week is great. Yesterday we had an amazing barbecue after school from our FFA. It was great. Tri-tip. It was amazing, and of course CI took care of us in the morning and kind of throughout the day in the staff lounge. That was awesome. So yeah, it's been great, unbelievable, and we feel appreciated. So that's good.
Good.
Hey, Mike,
Great.
did you get the senior night video of the girls?
Oh,
Girls
yes.
volleyball?
And you emailed it or texted it to me?
I did both.
You did both. I'm going to open it, and I didn't download it. So I'm downloading it now, and I will show that. How long is it?
2 minutes.
Oh, okay. So it should be up fairly quickly. Yeah. So is it?
A couple of weeks notice on that, but I thought yesterday was probably enough.
It was totally enough. I just didn't get home till 9 o'clock last night, and I saw it come up on my phone, and I just spaced on downloading it. But it's downloading now, and we will get it up and running.
Cool.
And then we're debuting it here, right?
You are.
Awesome.
You are.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, I've got you. I did put a note out to all of the senior class parents. And so you're putting a note out to them as well as Teresa putting a note out. So we want to make sure that we're just flooding the inbox with as many senior memories as possible captured on video or still photo of any and all seniors, homeschoolers, independent studies, any seniors that are tied to Templeton, right?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Why
normally they are students, in a normal year, which we used to have around here. Those were be all the students on our campus.
Okay.
But now we've got kids in independent study and distance learning, and
it's COVID rules.
COVID actually has been ruling for a while here, but
it's the COVID clause. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, well let's talk history while this thing's downloading. You got a minute to do some history with us?
Yeah, maybe a minute. And yeah, two important things happened today. I'm sure Eric Lewis is going to be covering those things.
Two important things.
I'm just wondering which one he's going to choose.
Oh no, I only have one. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only have one. Unless the other one is, I just saw this online, was that a severed human foot was found in the middle of the 210 freeway in San Bernardino, and they don't know where it came from. Was that it, Matt?
No, I meant this day in history.
Oh, well, it happened yesterday. So
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Wow.
So the one I have,
the
well, first off, yesterday, I think I felt like you were as impressed with Megan as I was. And when I met with her a week ago, after not talking to her 10 years, I was just like blown away by what she's up to. And just going forward, we are going to, she's going to meet with a couple of the different clubs at school. She's going to do the Emma and, help me, Matt, the podcast.
Jordan.
Jordan. And Jordan's podcast at school. And even then, Interact is related to Rotary. So hopefully we can have a scenario where she goes through the Student Interact Club and then integrates into the Rotary Club, because I know they do things like get involved in projects like that. So, she blew me away yesterday. I mean, not yesterday. She blew me away a week ago, but I felt like, I think there's so much to unpack there, and more than you would think you would get from just the situation. So,
do you remember her as a student?
Yeah, very much, because as she kind of said, she didn't have a traditional Templeton upbringing. And I don't want to go into too much detail without okaying it for her, but things just weren't as normal for her as a lot of kids. And I do have this memory, and it's funny because I don't know if she remembers it the same. She was working 2 jobs and just super, super busy and trying to get to school. And I remember telling her, and she goes, and I go, Megan, you just got to be a kid. And she just goes, I can't, and because she had tons of pressure and on herself. And I remember that really struck me, and I always remembered it. And I don't know if it had that kind of impact for her. But there's moments, I got that with a lot of students, but sure. Definitely will remember that my entire career. So,
wow. Yeah. She's definitely a girl on a mission. And I mean, she blew me away. Just super well-spoken, ton of experience in her. Well, she's been out since 2007. So what is that? 16 years she's been out.
She was my oldest son, the one who's a police officer up in Paso. They were in the class together and they were friends. And she also she talked about that yacht she lived in. Like, I had another Templeton student who was over there being a surfer, and then she got him a job on the yacht, and he ended up working on the yacht for like a year. And it was kind of interesting.
Wait, so did you have a son who's a police officer in Paso?
Yes.
It's not the chief, is it?
No. You know what's so funny about that? I'm laughing because that's actually my ex-wife's boyfriend. So she's not changing last names.
Oh no!
I don't know if they get married. But
oh my gosh!
She didn't want to. She didn't want to have to change all her stuff, so she found somebody with the same last name. So.
Oh geez.
He just so you know, he's an awesome. I'm not close with him, but he's an awesome dude. So.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let's shift gears. Let's talk history. Sorry.
You want to laugh at my personal life?
Yeah, I didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole.
I'm at home. Oh, and this is crazy. I don't want to run out of time because I have class, but I actually tested positive for COVID and I'm stuck at home. But this is interesting that I think people should know. Some people try to hide it. I was vaccinated with the teachers like on March 8th when the district did that for us. My son got COVID. I was 13 days from my vaccine having efficacy. So I had to not isolate. I'm isolating now.
You had to quarantine.
Yep. Yeah. And then I tested positive on Wednesday. And I'm like, what the heck? How did this happen? And they think what happened, and I have to isolate because they can't be 100% sure, because they think I had asymptomatic COVID probably 6 weeks ago, because I probably caught it from my son, was probably asymptomatic because I was vaccinated. But then since I was never tested, I didn't know till last Wednesday that I was tested, and I feel great. I mean, it's like I'm in the house and I'm exercising and I'm running. Hopefully the public health isn't going to do anything. I'm running and riding my bike because I'm not around people, but I'm out of school till next Monday. So bizarreness. Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
I guess the lesson that I've been telling my students is if anybody you know in your family gets it, whether you're vaccinated or not, when it's done, you need to be checked because you may have got it asymptomatically and not realize it. And it's like a big mess now. I'm going to New York in 60 days. I mean, in the end of to see my son in New York. And I don't know how that's going to work with the airline because I'm positive. I can't, but I am vaccinated and I think that overrides it. So.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, let's talk about today.
Yes.
Obviously Cinco de Mayo. And it's funny, I watched the little blurb on KSBY to see if they were going to step on my info. And they didn't go into much detail. They didn't have a lot of time. So I think there's a lot of misnomers about it. A lot of people thought that it was Mexican Independence Day, which it's not. Mexican Independence Day is actually September 16th from 1810, which is when their Revolution War started. They didn't actually become independent until like 1821. And so a lot of people think, oh, the Cinco de Mayo is a battle that happened during the war for independence. And it wasn't. What happened was after the Mexican-American War, and then they were in some financial issues, and then they had another war they called the Reform War. This was in the early 1860s, like right around 1860. And when that war happened, it cost them a ton of money. So Mexico owed money to Britain, Spain, and the French, and they were able to work out a deal with the British and the Spanish to not do anything. Well, the French were pissed, and it was Napoleon III, who was like the grandson of Napoleon, and he says, "Hey, you owe us money. We want it now." So he invades in like 1861. He invades Mexico, and one of the first places they attacked was the city of Pueblo in the state of Pueblo on March 5th. I think it was 1862. And there was a very under-equipped Mexican force of about 5,000 led by a General Ignacio Zaragoza. And they defeated a 10,000 numbered troop French force at this Battle of Pueblo. And so that's what is celebrated. Where it goes interesting, too, is how we ended up celebrating it is because, first off, they went on to lose the war. Mexico did. And they actually lost the war. And Napoleon III puts Maximilian I on the British, on the Mexican government. So he was Emperor Maximilian I. Well, in California about the same time, and obviously we had, only been 10 or 20 years since we had been a Mexican territory. Mexicans in California were mad about the French controlling it, so they started celebrating that day. Okay. And that kind of continued, and then they celebrated regionally more than nationally in Mexico, in the state of Pueblo, and then the adjacent state of Veracruz. And that's kind of all it was. And it wasn't on a big, wide scale. And then in America, it started growing a little bit, and it was mostly in California. In Mexico, they really didn't celebrate it outside of locally. It's not a government holiday. All Mexican schools are actually out. But outside of Pueblo and Veracruz, it's not even that big of a deal. In the 1980s is when it kind of blew up. And the interesting thing, everything I read is why it blew up was because alcohol and beer companies wanted to make it on a level with St. Patrick's Day and the Super Bowl. And it actually is. Generally, it's like right there with them, a little bit behind. And at one point in 2013, more alcohol was sold on Cinco de Mayo than was sold on the Super Bowl or St. Patrick's Day that year. I don't know why.
No kidding.
And one other note, a good friend of mine and someone I've known my whole life, she was born here, and then she moved to Mexico when she was 2 or 3 years old, and then came back and grew up in La Habra, where I grew up in Southern California. And so she holds dual citizenship. And she was telling me when she came back and she was like 12, and they talked about Cinco de Mayo, and she was like, What's that? I have no idea what that is. So she didn't even know about it. And she went to elementary school in Mexico till she was in middle school. So anyway, yeah, that's the Cinco de Mayo story. Matt, what was the other one? What did I miss?
Didn't we Shepard got on the moon today, didn't he?
Who's that?
Shepard?
I thought let's see. What did I see? Alan Shepard becomes the first American in space. Holds a pole of a U.S. flag on the surface of the moon during the Apollo 14 mission, 1971. But in May 5th, 1961, Alan Shepard is launched into space aboard Freedom 7 space capsule, becoming the first.
I missed that, but I do know that's from the movie All the Right Stuff. Which is, I think you guys, I don't know if you're old enough to know that movie, Mike, but I'm sure Matt did. It's an unbelievable movie about the race to space. And it really was the one that really kind of put Alan Shepard on the map and Chuck Yeager on the map, because we knew about Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, and Alan went later, so he wasn't as famous, but and that really made Alan Shepard and then the other one who went around the earth first, and I'm drawing a blank and I hate to miss his name. But yeah, they put them on the map. It was a great movie.
I heard
Apollo 13. Another good
I heard
one.
that the launch, the Alan Shepard launch in 1961 was actually sponsored by Corona in an effort to just further solidify May 5th as a Mexican holiday. No?
Could have been.
But you know what? That reminds me that the whole thing with Megan made me think of something for you. I mean, and Matt's got a lot of connections too. There's a lot of ex-students out there that have doing some amazing stuff. This makes me think a guy named a young man. He was one of my students, my son's best friends, and his mom was a teacher at Templeton for 30 years. Noah Hansen works for SpaceX, and he is literally in charge of one of the foundries that makes one of the main parts for the rockets, and he works out of Hawthorne. So he would probably be someone very interesting to get on the show.
So I'm building a list. Jim Fotonakis was somebody that was mentioned.
Yeah, prepare to be entertained.
Okay.
He was my mentor when I was principal, and he is just the guy's still at 70. I don't know how old Jim is, 70 something, and he just has more energy than anybody in the entire world. He was fun, loved the kids. Nuts in a good way.
All right, so I've got him. I've got Noah Hansen. I've got Mac Lardner.
Well, I don't know. The big one would be Spencer. He's actually in the majors right now.
Spencer Howard.
Yeah.
Spencer Howard. Okay, I'm writing all these down.
Hey, you should
have Savannah Camacho is a professional track athlete. I think she runs for Brooks and is out of. She just recently moved to Boulder. I just talked to her on an instant message the other day because she had been in Seattle for a long time. Maybe our most successful professional athlete was a 2003 grad named Nate Tyler, who was a professional surfer, and now he's an artist and does art sculptures that are amazing. And he surfed professionally for Volcom. I think he still technically does, but he's on the retired side. He's 38, but since he was 17 and has traveled around the world multiple times and is pretty famous in the surf world, but not outside of that. So
interesting.
Could also get Michael Hattar.
Oh yeah. Michael Hattar and Jordan Hattar too.
Yeah.
Jordan runs Help for Refugees, I think, which is a nonprofit. And he was one of the people I had planned to try to put in contact with Megan, because he's already kind of gone down that path, and he mostly been working with refugees in different parts of Ethiopia and Sudan, and I think he moved into Syria. He had Lost Boys. We brought Lost Boys to the high school, which were the Sudan Lost Boys who were we used to teach that in geography. A very interesting story. I should do that story on the Lost Boys one day. So I actually got to go. But and I can email you a list as I think about it. I'll email you things, but there's a lot of people out there. My son what he does actually in Paso, he works on the CAT team, and it's him and another officer and a sergeant. Technically, they are detectives, and the CAT team is the community action team, and their whole focus is working with the homeless population and the mental health issues, and they're trained in de-escalation. And they come to my criminal justice class, and they're amazing. My son's he's pretty good, but Terry, the sergeant, that guy is just awesome. So
okay,
put that on your list. So.
I'll loop the two of you guys in on an email, and we'll just come up with that list.
Okay. Oh, and I wore instead of the baseball hat, I wore because the Dodgers have been stinking lately, and I'm trying to change the luck.
I love it. They've
been horrible, so I switched from a baseball cap to the beanie because I'm not usually a beanie guy. My head gets itchy.
I love it.
All right, I will see you guys. Take care.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Lewis. All right, I got that video. It's downloaded.
Okay, you better go quick because I got class.
All right, here we go. Let's see here. Downloads. Boom. Open. I'm going to get rid of the chat, and we'll do this. No, we'll do this. There we go. And turn it on.
We have 4 fantastic seniors on our girls volleyball team. We'll be taking this time to show them our appreciation. Let's first start off with what their teammates have to say.
I think that this year, being a sophomore on varsity, the seniors this year have really shown us what it means to be a good leader. Although this year's season hasn't quite gone the way that we wanted, I think that this year's seniors have shown us that even though things don't always go the right way, that we can still have fun. And we're really sad to see you guys leave.
I've known the seniors that are leaving this year for a really long time. I've competed with them in soccer and volleyball. I'm not only going to miss them as players, but as people.
Hey guys, it's so sad to see you leave this year, but I just gotta say that you guys have been with me ever since I was a freshman, and you guys will always be part of my team. And I just have to say that it was so nice to get the opportunity to create new friendships with you guys.
Dear seniors, I'm really gonna miss you guys next year. It's been amazing watching you guys turn into the players you've become, and I'm really gonna miss the memories we've shared over the past year.
Lindsay, Tawny, Abby, and Summer are the definition of dedication, perseverance, hard work, and kindness. It's been such a pleasure getting to know them this year, and I wish them the best of luck in the years to follow.
Thank you, girls, for sharing. Now, Coach Cam, it's your turn to take on the one-word challenge.
Abby, ambitious. Summer, consistent. Lindsay, scrappy. Tawny, spontaneous.
Thanks for sharing, Coach. Now, seniors, it's your chance to share with us what being on this team has meant to you.
I think the thing I'm going to miss the most about playing volleyball at THS is going to have to be when we all click together. We all come in with the same energy when we just did something really good on the court. And just that feeling of everyone coming together is something I'm definitely going to miss the most.
There's 2 things I'm going to miss. The first, the adrenaline rush as we get on the court. The second, playing with my sister Lauren.
What I'm going to miss most about my team is the compassion and commitment each one of us had to this sport.
Something I'll miss about the volleyball team is the dedication the team has and the relationships that have been formed. Some schools have a volleyball team, ours is a family.
Thank you, seniors, for a great season and a great career. And we're looking forward to watching you take the court one last time.
There you go, Mike. Start your day off right. Hey, I got class waiting, so I gotta scoot. You're muted, bud. Can't hear you.
I was telling you, I really appreciate you sharing that with us. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
That's special. So right. I will see you this afternoon.
You bet. Okay, see you.
See ya. Bye. All right, Mr. Mack, showing us that Templeton High School girls volleyball video. It's just awesome. So the seniors, and my daughter's a senior, and tonight is her last high school volleyball game. So I'm sure my wife's going to be full of emotion, as volleyball was her sport, and she's a coach. And so, yeah, it'll be a special evening. All right, I'm going to call Coach Crow here shortly. We'll get him on the phone. First, let's check in with Mr. Anthony Reed, past Robles incidents and actions. Talk to me.
Nada's going on. For those of the Latino descent, nada. So nothing's going on. Just usual. Supposed to be 85 or something today, so almost 90. Yeah, we're all clear.
All right. Well, that's good news. I will check back with you here at let's see here, 8:55-ish, and we'll go from there.
All right, I'm gonna go back to watching on the big screen.
All right, man. I'll see you.
All right, see ya.
All right, Anthony Reed, past Robles incidents and actions. All right, at this time, let me see if I can find a picture of Don Crow online. Let's get a visual here. Coach Don Crow. This is hilarious. There we go. Okay. All right, we'll pull up a visual of him, get it shared on the screen. All right, and we'll go this. And we'll give him a call. All right, so that's Don Crow. He's the head varsity football coach. Don is not able to join us via web, so we'll get him on speakerphone right now. Sorry, I'm choking this morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks. Just checking in with you. We wanted to give you one last opportunity to talk through the end of the year and how you thought that the program did this year in terms of highs and lows and things to build on and all kinds of stuff. Just to kind of get a wrap up of your season, if you will.
No problem. No problem.
Well, so bright and early Monday morning, my son was back at it in the weight room at zero period. And so you've got the schedule lined out for these boys for the coming months. I know Coach Farley's coming on with us later this morning to talk through any potential changes, any new updates that he's got. You're expecting to have a schedule of games solidified here pretty quickly, right? For next year?
Pretty much done. It's pretty much done. We just have to get the contracts back from a couple schools. But yeah, him and I finished the schedule Tuesday.
Okay, that's good news.
Yes. Looks like we're good.
Awesome. Okay, and so we've got a heavy practice schedule. We've got July 16th through the 30th is a dead zone where the kids have off.
Yes.
Probably to show animals, to get family vacations done
Right.
and whatnot.
We always do it around the fair time. Yep.
Awesome. And in the springtime, besides weightlifting, what else are we doing?
Okay, so right now we're in the weight room, and then on the 17th, we're going to bring some kids back out on the field for short times in the afternoons. Mainly, won't be anybody that's involved in another sport, and it'll be mainly the kids that have joined zero period that did not play this year. Some of the kids that played this year will be out there if they're not at another sport, but it's just to get them moving around. We're not going to get too intensive. We're just going to start putting in some base stuff, starting over from ground zero like we've never seen a football before, and start working that way. And then in June 14th, so we'll go do that until June 3rd, and then we're off for 11, I think it's 2 days because of finals. We'll take all that off. And then we don't meet at all with them. And then we start back our summer program on June 14th.
Okay.
So then we can add in the promoting 8th graders. It'll be freshmen can start June 14th with the JV team.
And June 14th is a Monday?
Yes.
All right. So the incoming freshmen will join June 14th. And I guess it's not really called zero period at that point, right? But it is.
No, the varsity will go in the morning at 7 o'clock and the JVs will go in the afternoons at 4 because of our coaching situations.
Got it. Okay. And your varsity or your junior varsity head coach, his name again?
Robert Ellithorpe.
And Mr. Ellithorpe, Coach Ellithorpe's been with you for a while, right?
Yeah, he's been in the program quite a while.
Okay.
Great guy.
Yeah.
I know your son played for him. Yeah, Robert's great with those kids and does a great job on our JVs.
Yeah, and you couldn't be more accurate when you described him as being kind of the opposite of you in mannerisms, but still just as effective, right?
Right, and it's a good balance. Yeah, he's probably a little more laid back than I am, but he's a good offensive mind and does a good job with our offensive kids. And then we've hired an on-staff person who's our behavioral analyst for our district named Leonard Ward, who's had coached quite a few years back east, and he's joined us, and he's going to be on the JVs as defensive coordinator.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great.
So we have another on-staff person involved in the program, which is great.
Very cool. And so that brings the total number of coaching staff in the program to what?
Oh, total, hopefully we'll be around 14.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's 14 different types of personalities that all connect with these kids on different levels, which is, I think, super important because every kid needs to have that one adult kind of mentor type person that they can connect with. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's what we do. I don't want a whole bunch of yes men, and I don't want a whole bunch of guys that are just like me because then, because it doesn't reach every kid, and they don't, everybody has a little different learning styles, and so it makes it really nice.
Yeah, so cool. All right, well, let's shift gears and just talk through. I guess we can start with Friday night. We didn't really recap the game. First off, I owe you a huge apology, and I wanted to do it publicly. You guys tasked me with putting together the playlist, and there was one song on there that apparently was explicit that I missed. It was the only song out of 300 songs that happened to just play when I hit shuffle. And so as soon as we recognized it, we shut it off, but I apologize for that happening.
Yeah. Those things happen.
Yeah. But so anyways, we got started Friday night. We came out with a bang. The kids were full of energy. I thought the entire game was played very well from our kids' standpoint. They hung with it. We were 2 big plays away from being in the game, if not taking the game. And things happen, emotions and whatnot. But how do you feel the game went?
Considering they got a couple kids back for the game, and so did we, that had been out. They scored. That number 2 that was for them had not played in 3 or 4 weeks. He made that long run down the sidelines, and then we returned the kickoff, and we put them in a dogfight for a long time. But you look at their sidelines, and they've got 55, 60 guys, and we've got 35, and they're a school of 2,700, and we're a school of 700, and we have to play a bunch of our kids both ways, and they don't, especially in the line, and we just got wore down, and that's the issue with that league. When you play teams in that league at schools that are a lot bigger, if we only had to play 11 on 11 for the same, if they had to turn and play their 7-11, if we had to play our same 11 on offense and defense, and they played their same 11 on offense and defense, I'm good with that. But when you get to number 21 and 22 and 23 in your roster, they just have more bodies to pick from.
Yeah.
And they have some kids. They have some good athletes, some really good athletes. And it just wore us down. And then when we had a couple of other injury situations come up, and we were a little bit shorthanded. And I thought our kids played valiantly. And I thought we had every opportunity to not. After the block punt that we gave back to them, after we didn't catch a punt, and they scored, and then we turned it over, and they scored, but our kids went back down and scored and made it a game and made them work at it, which I thought was my hats off to our kids. Our kids don't give up. I mean, they play hard for 48 minutes, and I thought that was very indicative Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we talk a little bit in detail about the Anthony Fisher situation? When he went down, Austin was laying down as well for an extended period of time. Was that just because they told him not to move?
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, Austin had run into Anthony on the play and wound up, and Anthony felt. We have these things. If you hit your shoulder or neck a certain way, it's called a burner, and it seems like a little nerve shock down your shoulder. And it's not uncommon in football to happen. It's like if you run into something. Well, this one they said shot down his leg, so that's why all those precautionary things were taken. He was completely conscious. He was talking. He was. He didn't want to go to the hospital. He wanted to get up and go to the sidelines because he said, "I feel fine. I feel fine." By the time the ambulance showed up, he was back to full strength in his grip and complete feeling and talking and moving every extremity. But they wanted, it was all precautionary. So
yeah. Okay. Well, certainly, you know, one of those nervous moments for the entire stadium.
Yes.
But it's super glad to hear that he's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing fine. I saw him Tuesday. I talked to him that night. I talked to him Saturday. I actually saw him in person Tuesday. He came by and brought his gear by and dropped it off.
Okay.
So yeah, he's doing pretty well. I mean, he's slowed down a little bit, but he's going to be fine. He's a fighter, tough kid, and thoughts and prayers. I know he felt them from everybody, but he's doing really well.
Well, and just an extreme show of sportsmanship and class from both sidelines in those moments following that. And
I felt like the Rigetti kids all night were pretty classy group.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, the end of the game in the last game of the season is always an emotional time. But I felt personally just a ton of emotion as that clock ticked down to 0 on Friday night, and I could see it in your face, in all the kids' faces, and the parents' faces. It just was one of those. And even Rigetti, like the fact that both teams came together and were just hugging each other, it was almost like the two schools had such a huge moral victory together to just get to that point where we were able to play together, right?
I think their head coach said it best. It was the longest, shortest season I've ever had.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it took so long to get to it, and then it was over way quicker than a normal season. So, and then they had even, that was only their 5th game because they had to sit out 2 games at the start of the year with some positive COVID tests.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was, Coach Payne does a good job with their program, and it was, it was a rough night right at the end for us. But when we walked out the middle, there's been a lot of don't shake hands, don't do this, don't do that. And he goes, Coach, we're going to shake hands. It's the last one. What are they going to do to us? Yeah, absolutely. Let the kids do their thing.
Yeah. Well, it was a special moment shared by everybody. So I'm glad that I got to witness it, and I know that these kids, I mean, my son sat in the parking lot for a half hour after the game, and his comments to me, and he'll kill me probably for saying this, but he's like, man, number 12 and number 25. I mean, those are the guys that I've looked up to for the last 2 years, and now they're gone. And so now it's me. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's you guys all have to step up,
right.
But yeah, a lot of these younger kids are losing the kids that they've been idolizing for the last few years. So it'll be an interesting off season. I think the boys are ready to just kind of turn the page and put the pedal to the metal, don't you?
Oh yeah, it'll be because we don't have our normal ramp up.
Yeah.
We don't get January to July to get going. We get 2 months, and we're back at it. And basically 12 weeks from now, we'll be back with our helmets on practicing for our opening game at Coalinga.
I love it.
And so it's a very short turnaround time, and we're trying to get, trying to get as much in as we can without overdoing it and giving the kids, you would have taken Thanksgiving break, Christmas break. We're not quite as blessed for that opportunity this year, but we're back at it, and we brought in a bunch of kids that didn't play this year because of their no JV team. They're in the weight room with us now, so that's good.
Good. Well, good deal, Coach. I know you've got a busy schedule this morning, so I'll let you go. But I just wanted to thank you for an awesome season, and thank you for just the guidance and the mentorship and the leadership for the program and for these kids. So congratulations on a successful season.
Yes, thank you. And we want to thank the town, the community, the school district. You guys stood behind us. It was great. And I want to thank you for all you did, because, man, you stepped up in a tough role for us, because that filming thing is not easy.
Hey,
and people that think it is need to spend 5 minutes before a game with what you have to do just to get ready to do that.
I felt like I could never get there early enough. I was always down to the wire to get the darn thing set up, but we got by the last game, it was flawless, right?
Yep. Yep, it worked out good. So we appreciate all your help, and we appreciate everybody in town supporting us. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Coach. We will we'll chat with you soon.
All right. Hey, and one more time, go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Coach Don Crow, varsity football coach for Templeton High School, the head of the program there. Just an awesome guy and an unbelievable leader and mentor for our kids. And so one last hello to him and goodbye. And so with that being said, it's time for our weekly check-in with Mr. Asplund and Mr. Burnett. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you guys?
Great. Thank you.
Good morning. Yeah, so we've got football has ended, and it's like it's one of those things where football ends and then we have 3/4 of the school year left. But no, in fact, we have 6 weeks or whatever left, right? So just an odd timing thing for us that we're all trying to scratch our heads, get used to. But yeah, how are you guys doing?
We're good. We need to do a video check before we both log on and quit wearing such similar apparel.
This is like, I mean, Aaron, you're getting a little overboard with the dress code at the district office. All right. Yeah.
That's how we roll.
Andy, send me that memo where he specifically says everybody needs to dress like me.
You're right.
That'll go viral. No.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh man. All right. So boys volleyball, how was it last night? We left, but I heard they hung in there.
Yeah, we're playing quality opponents and learning a lot of lessons. It's a young team with the exception of a couple of seniors who are on the older end, but there's a lot of like important sports lessons. Last night things seemed a little off, and so you just had to kind of grit your teeth, and the boys powered through it, and they played competitive games all 3 matches, but that with a lot of kind of inconsistency. So one of those nights where things aren't clicking the way you normally are, and they hung in there and persevered, and so that'll pay off somewhere down the line.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. They've got 2 seniors, and so next year we'll have a kind of a more seasoned team. Right.
Yeah. There will be a couple of years because other than the 2 seniors, everybody on the team this year is a freshman or a sophomore. So very young team.
Oh, that's great. And do we have any 6'6" incoming freshmen that we know about?
We're putting the call out to foreign exchange students. We're looking for them.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, we're a host family, so we've got a spare bedroom. We're doing our part.
Nice. Very good.
That's awesome. All right. So it sounds like we've got, as far as the high school goes, and speaking with Mr. Aston yesterday, we've got our plan for graduation. And that seems to be moving along. AP testing, all of that stuff's happening. And what else have we got going on right now, Mr. Burnett?
Well, we have a lot of planning going on. I mean, that's what we're doing behind the scenes, and specifically planning, toward 21-22 school year, finalizing really a lot of those plans. And I'm happy to speak to, what all of that planning is about and what we're looking to offer our students in the fall, if you'd like me to.
I'd love that. Yeah. And I did also hear some rumors that you guys are starting to fly a bunch of positions for next year as well, too. So, yeah, I want you to speak to all of that.
Yeah, so that's a key part of it. And as I described, the services and the programs that we're looking to offer students in the fall, and in an attempt to address learning loss and learning recovery, it'll begin to make sense why all of those positions are being flown right now. So, an area that we have really targeted, and all of our site principals have done a good job of being really thorough in their approach about is intervention. We're going to need to really double down on academic intervention, and what does that mean for the person that may not be involved in a classroom on a daily basis, or kind of in teaching and learning. We look at intervention as, for those students who are not learning and or performing at grade level, then we have to provide services that enable those students to really accelerate their own learning and then reach kind of where their grade level peers are. And oftentimes that's done through either what's called push in or pull out services. When you push in, it means that you have either classified instructional personnel that go into a classroom and work with students while the teacher is teaching. And in the pull out model, it's the opposite. The students are pulled out of the classroom and small groups, and then there's some really intensive intervention that is done either by a teacher or by a classified staff member. So, intervention services are on our minds, and specifically in the area of math and language arts or reading and writing. So that's really the first area that we have spent a lot of time planning, and you see that represented in some of the positions that we're hiring for during this spring season. The other area, though, is counseling, and that's something that's really important to us and to our faculty. Is we have to make sure that our students have access to plenty of counseling services, and some amount of the counseling work has been devoted to social and emotional learning, specifically at the elementary schools. They've spent a lot of time working to develop lessons that address really the social and emotional needs of our youngest students, and that's really been a shot in the arm for us during this time of COVID. So we're looking to continue that, and we are upping our services. So you see that represented in the vacant or the positions that we're flying for.
Can I stop you right there?
Of course.
So I'm familiar with kind of the counseling, the traditional counseling setup on the high school level. Currently, what does it look like in terms of the district for counselors in the elementary, middle school levels? Is there one per campus? Is it what is that?
Yeah, it's safe to say that there is one per campus. Okay. Oftentimes the one counselor that's at the campus, though, their time is split, between two campuses, but every school does have a counselor that is, their assignment is to be, located at that school campus. And so what we're looking to do in the fall, though, is have a counselor be at each school site 100% of the time. And so there will be no more splitting of, assignments, if you will, between two schools. It will be, each school has their own counselor that is there all day.
So it's a net gain of like two counselors, or what are we talking?
A net gain, I think, of one counselor.
One, okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's the counseling side. Sorry, go on.
No, that's okay. The other part of kind of the intervention piece to areas that are worth calling out is, the middle school has what are known as reading and writing labs, and our focus there is really, developing reading comprehension skills in our students and addressing those students that are reading below grade level. So there will be an increased amount of sections of those reading and writing labs at the middle school level. The other thing that's happening at the high school level is really the implementation of a credit recovery program. So that's actually been implemented during this spring time, and we have a few students that are are working to recover credits that may have been lost in the fall semester. And so we're going to continue that work through the summer. That will be a focus during the summer and then on into next school year, because, you know, we have freshmen and sophomores and juniors that, you know, have been negatively impacted by COVID and by distance learning. And so they have, you know, have classes that they did not pass. And so we need to give them an opportunity to recover those credits and be on track to graduate. So that's another part of kind of our efforts to intervene and help students be, you know, on track to meet their goals.
And maybe you don't know the answer to this, but in that credit recovery program, if these kids have had these classes they haven't passed, but they complete and go through this program and are successful, does it still negatively impact their opportunities for like a 4-year university to be accepted into, or is it just kind of wipe away the past and this makes up for it? Or
you know, so our credit recovery program is done through Apex, and which is an online kind of platform where students retake these classes. I'd have to get back to you on, you know, exactly whether that puts them on track, and check with the counselors on that question.
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking, because there have been so many students negatively impacted from this last year. I've got to think that there are going to be some types of opportunities for these kids to at least catch back up, right? And this program sounds like it's one of those opportunities. So that's great.
Certainly. You know, just a few other areas. You know, we are not only are we hiring, you know, certificated, you know, teachers and counselors, but we're also adding classified staff to our workforce, and looking to really double down on the amount of instructional support that's offered by our classified personnel. And oftentimes that you know, represents itself in that push-in model that I described before, where you have you know, instructional aides going into classrooms and supporting the teachers with those students that need additional support. Mm-hmm. And then the other one is looking at increased tutoring services, possibly like after school, you know, and all, you know, our school sites have some amount of tutoring services already available to students, but really looking to increase the amount of services that are available to students so that they have a place to go after school and receive additional support. So, and you know, that's really the programmatic side of it.
And the tutoring services, those are going to be campus based, not offsite, right? They'll be on campus.
Right. Yeah, they'll be on campus. Yeah, and we already have some amount of that in play. We just, you know, signed an MOU with Camino Scholars, which that is a program that's ran through People's Self-Help Housing, and it's funded through a grant that Must Charities supported. And so that's an off-campus, really tutoring service, if you will. But what Templeton Middle School did was developed an agreement with them to have 1 or 2 of their teachers come on to the middle school campus and provide support, academic support, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So there's already some amount of that in our system.
I was gonna say that program's happening now.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's right. I think is it Chris Reed, the gentleman that I'm supposed to speak to a little more in detail about that in the coming weeks. So that is awesome. Well, very cool. So tons of opportunities there for people in the community, classified staff type roles. What did you call it? Certificated? What's the word?
Certificated.
Certificated. Thank you. Certificated roles that are available. Counseling, instructional, at all levels, right?
Yes.
Elementary, middle, and high school levels. Very cool.
All levels.
Okay. Well, yeah, you guys, sounds like you're busy. Yeah. So What's the process if somebody's applying? They obviously go through the process online and send their information in, and then you guys do you close that listing and then go through all of the candidates, or is that listing open? I know there's a legal process that you have to go through. Explain how that looks.
I'll take a stab at that since I oversee kind of the work of HR. Newly, I haven't for my whole career, but so typically there is, there's a time sensitive need. So if we have a vacancy that arises, whether that's a new position or somebody who's resigned, you do put a kind of end date to the applicant pool. You close the recruitment, and then you do a screening, to kind of look for paper qualifications, and then you convene a hiring panel. And there's various iterations that we do depending on the type of hire. Some of it, with teachers over the years, it sometimes involves teaching a model lesson in front of an interview panel or other types of exercises. And so based on the type of job we're hiring for, typically it's a time-based thing where we close it, we screen it, we interview, and then we make a selection. Sometime where there's a need that's kind of ongoing, we leave an open till filled kind of, ongoing sort of recruitment so that we can take all comers as they come along and enter the system. Those are for jobs that are not necessarily as time sensitive. So a variety of recruitment strategies for sure.
Okay, awesome. And I think I spoke to this previously. Obviously, you guys are basically in competition with the surrounding districts as well, as they've kind of got some of the same funding as we've got in our district, right?
Yeah. So definitely, there's always the need as an employer to be competitive because it is the type of work we do is specialized. And Andy alluded to the certificated folks in the university. Another way of describing them is those that work under a credential. And so that pool, especially in a geographically isolated area like the Central Coast, that pool is always limited and subject to kind of competition between the school districts on the Central Coast. So yeah, we have to put our best foot forward as an organization. We have to stay competitive on the salary front and all those sorts of things to attract and retain good people.
And as far as certificated goes, any concerns that there's going to be a shortage of qualified candidates in our county?
That's fair. That's a for the last several years, that's been a consideration, especially as you zero in on what are sometimes called hard to fill positions. Math teachers seem to be in short supply. Science teachers seem to be in short supply. So depending on the year, some of the depending on the subject type, we sometimes are hard pressed to find a deep pool of solid people because again, everybody needs them, and we're all vying for the same limited pool of people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I think, obviously I couldn't think of a better place to work than in Templeton. It sounds like that's like the dream scenario, as Andy, you could attest to, right? Like,
yes, sir.
I mean, coming in, you're like, whoa, I hit the lottery. Yeah.
Sure did.
Well, all right, gentlemen, is there anything else that we need to get out to the public this week as we are rolling through?
Andy gave a great summary. Just to bear with us, we're in the like the 3 to 4 week run of kind of internal planning. All the things Andy's describing are very involved, and we're hitting it hard. And then, as we promised our community a few weeks ago, the end result will be kind of fully developed school plans and designs for next year. They get communicated by no later than the first week of June. So putting all the pieces together so that we can have a pretty comprehensive, detailed plan that everybody understands going into summer.
Awesome. Well, that's good news, and obviously keep us posted as things progress. And we are always rooting for you guys with success, and just know that you guys are always acting on the best intentions of the district and the students in it. So thanks again for everything that you guys do.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. And you know what? We probably shouldn't fail to take advantage of this opportunity to ask that. A word of mouth is a powerful part of what we do sometimes, and so we're looking for good people. It is absolutely a great organization to be a part of. The Templeton family is special, and so as people are having conversations, there are a lot of well-qualified people that are friends and associates of ours, and send them our way. We'd love to have them on our team.
Yeah, and I personally know a few teachers that travel, 30 to 45 minutes out of the North County to go to their school sites every day. And we don't want to take away from those other districts. However, if it improves somebody's quality of life and it's a better fit, then why not, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, well, we'll definitely keep the word spread and do everything on our end to help you guys fill those roles.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, have a good rest of your week, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Sounds
Thanks
good.
a lot,
Thank you.
Mike. The haircut's looking good, Mike.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Yeah, I lost 5 pounds just cutting the hair. All right, see you guys.
Have a great one.
Bye. All right, Andy Burnett and Aaron Asplund, the district superintendent and assistant superintendent, joining us every Wednesday at 8:15. All right, the long-anticipated interview with the birthday boy. How old are you? I want to know. Is it 23, 22?
23.
23? No, you're not.
No, I'm 28 as of 2:39 this afternoon, so I'm still 27.
All right. Wow. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Got, I heard they're planning a special senior ceremony for you on the volleyball court.
Yeah, I gotta get going on that senior ceremony, and it's crazy with all these sports ending at once. Then you have all the senior days happening at once, and it's like, oh man, Sheila, we don't have enough flowers around here to to supply all these seniors.
So are we doing this thing at 4:30? Is that what time?
That's what Cam told me that the girls wanted to do. So I believe that we're moving forward with 4:30 because that's what the girls wanted, and it's kind of what the team preferred. So then again,
so parents who are working that can't make their daughter's senior ceremony, we'll videotape it. It'll be you can watch it later.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out something, or we'll honor them really quick after the game when the parents there. I mean, we do have that time between the girls' varsity game and the boys' game, so we'll find out a way to make sure everyone gets their true moment.
Perfect. Well, good deal. Yeah, it'll be. Boy, last night's game was fun to watch in Rigetti. They held their own. We were super close. We lost a first game or first set. Game point, we served into the net, and then the second game they fell apart. But the third game and the fourth game they fought. So I have a feeling we'll win tonight in 4. I think they're going to go out. They're going to go out with a bang. It'll be a fun night. So, all right. So we missed you on Monday. You had a big meeting that you attended. I don't want to put you on the spot, but any details that you can share, please do. Give us the update. What's going on?
Yeah. So on Monday, we had our league meeting, or I guess I should say our association meeting. So that's all the schools a part of the Mountain League and the Ocean League. Every year we review kind of the leagues, the mountain and the ocean, and who belongs where and why. So we just focused on football kind of for the second part of the meeting. And so we throw all the teams up on the board and try to make some competitive equity out of the area, because there's no reason that a team that has struggled in recent times goes and plays in the Mountain League, and a team that's been really successful goes down and plays in the Ocean League. So that's kind of what we reviewed. At the end of the meeting, we all vote on kind of, a team can appeal to move down or appeal to move up. This year, we appealed to move down, actually. So we were in the Mountain League this year, and this one year I appealed for us to move down, and kind of gave out some criteria on why I think that was the best move for the area and for our school. And so we will be moving down into the Ocean League for next year's football season.
Okay, and so the Ocean League consists of Morro Bay.
Don't try and list them because it all changes. I'll give you the most up to date. So the Ocean League stands as Mission Prep, Atascadero, Morro Bay, Santa Maria, San Luis Obispo, and Templeton.
Santa Maria, Morro Bay, Mission, Atascadero, Slow, Templeton, Santa Maria. Is that what was the same lineup 2 years ago?
I'm trying to think. It sounds.
I don't remember playing Atascadero though.
Yeah, Atascadero. So the two that were switched from 2 years ago was Atascadero was up and PV was down.
Oh, okay. So PV went up.
Yes.
Oh, got it. Okay. And so Paso is staying with PV, and they're
Yep.
staying with St. Joe and
Royal Grande.
Royal Grande. Okay.
Yep. Rigetti. Yeah. So.
And then
that's
Coach Crow mentioned we have our opener against Coalinga. So it sounds like you and him are pretty close to finalizing contracts with all of the schedule for the fall, right?
Yeah, pretty much wrote up the contracts yesterday and going to get all those sent out to the people that require a new contract. And then shortly after that, we'll be able to share the new football season schedule for the fall of 2021. I think that Coalinga game kicks off on the 27th, August 27th. Coach Crow may have told you, but
so 8/27 is kind of when we can expect that first opener. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that's good news, right? You feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I think for next year, it's kind of a spot where THS needs to be for football specifically to be competitive. So and it'll be good. We have our classic rivalry games back with Mission Prep and Morro Bay, and then we'll also get to play Atascadero. As kind of this year we played Paso as kind of a North County battle, and this year we'll get to battle against Atascadero for the other part of the North County. So it's a good schedule. St. Louis is always a good opponent for us. For the last 3 or 4 years, they've all been super competitive games between the two of us. So that'll be an exciting one as well.
Sure. And can you speak to, are you able to list besides Coalinga any potential opponents for the non-league matchups?
Yeah, we're working on Coalinga, West Bakersfield, who we were supposed to play this year. So Piedmont, people might have known that Brad Smith and I were kind of job sharing this duty once Lindsey Franklin left. Then Brad actually got a job up in the Bay Area at Piedmont High School. So it'll be kind of fun to go against him and in his school. So they're going to travel down to us next year, and then we'll return the favor and travel up there. They're a school that's very similar to us, and Brad came to our game on Friday, so it was good to see him, and that'll be a fun game just because of Brad's connection to Templeton High the last couple of years. So
I didn't see Brad. Was he on the sideline or where was he?
Yeah, you probably mistaked him for a Rigetti person because his school now is purple. Their school colors are purple. So on the sidelines, he was wearing, he came to the sidelines and was hanging out next to us and wearing a purple hat. And I was like, dude, I didn't say you could wear purple. But yeah, he was down on the sidelines, and it was, I know the kids were excited to see him as well.
So cool. All right. So Coalinga, West Bakersfield, and Piedmont. Any others?
Yeah, we're still trying to finalize the last couple there. So
okay, cool. Well, fun. It's almost like we're going to be back to some type of normalcy.
Yeah, we're working on a 10-game schedule. That's kind of why we had to finish that season, the football season, on April 30th. Yep. So that way we could start up in the fall time and kind of squeeze in a full 10 games. So that's what we're working on. And Matt McFarland already stopped by my office wondering about what games, the homecoming games. So we're going to be looking at that. And so, yeah.
Cool. Well, I got to tell you, John Spalding and I had a blast up in the press box playing music. I'm working on getting some disco lights, like I mentioned before, for next season. So it'll be maybe,
You need a spotlight up there so that way you
spotlight.
can. Yeah.
I'm actually working on getting a band, an actual real live band set up in one of the end zones to play a song after every touchdown. But I got all kinds of ideas for us.
Yeah, John Spalding's a good guy. So
he's amazing.
I tried to twist his arm, and maybe you just signed yourself up for this job, although you do have a senior tonight. But I said, hey, John, I need a announcer tonight for senior night for girls volleyball. And he's all, let me check at my schedule and I'll get back to you. And then he called me back yesterday and I was like, I am not going to be able to make that. So now I'm down to no. So maybe I'll announce the Brady family, and then you'll run up there and grab the microphone, and I'll let you talk everyone's ear off.
I'm happy to help, whatever you need, for sure.
All right. Well, first we got to find that microphone for the gym. It went missing. So,
is it the same one that's the wireless in the press box?
I don't believe so, but I could go and grab and check. But
all right. Well, yeah, we can talk offline, but if we need to bring another wireless, I've got a setup too. So,
okay.
All right. Well, cool. What else are you working on for the spring, the summer, the fall? Any other news?
The senior days are taking up a good majority. And then as we kind of tie up the end of this year, teams are starting to wonder about the summer programs and what they're going to be allowed to do. So we're working on getting the summer program stuff cleared away. We have to update the athletic handbook. That's been in the back seat, but May 27th board meeting, I think, is when that will be ready to go. Cheer tryouts are coming up May 15th. So they have a couple days of clinics before that, and then they're going to do the cheer tryouts on the 15th. So that's coming up. And then, the CIF for all of our sports. We got the tennis tournament for boys and girls lined up. It's going to be at the Santa Maria Country Club for the girls, and then at San Luis High for the boys. So we're getting our boys and girls ready to take part in the league tournament to then get sent off to CIF. Oh boy, we got a lot to do.
Yeah. Are you flying any positions for next year yet?
Like coaching positions?
Yeah.
Not yet. We will have to this year, like for tennis kind of thing. We were fortunate enough that we only needed, we needed two. We could only find one for both genders. But generally, if the varsity team's playing away, then the JV team would be home. So it's kind of impossible for the same individual to coach both of those sports. So we only have one coach for each gender that happens at two different times of the year. So we will be looking for some people to kind of fill some roles. But right now, there might be a couple things posted, but we'll be looking here shortly.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah, keep us posted as that progresses, and like I said, we'll do everything on our end to get the word out, to get you some qualified candidates for sure. And then, yeah, like I said, hit me up offline if you need some support for tonight. I'll be there probably from about 4:00 on. So yeah, happy to help with whatever.
Okay, I think they're starting to decorate at 3, so make sure the decorations.
I'll be there at 4. I'll be there at 4. Yeah.
That sounds good.
So what's your birthday wish this year? What are you gonna are you gonna have a nice whiskey, or what's your celebratory thing? What are you doing?
No, I'm trying not to drink coffee, so I'm gonna need to be drinking lots of more water today. So I'm just hoping that the cold water, and then I think might be going down to Touch Mexico for some chips and salsa at lunchtime and just enjoy that, and make sure that the officials show up on time for the volleyball game and everything goes smoothly tonight, and so I can go to bed with no stress. So
yeah, as you get older, the birthdays just turn into normal days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest birthday person, but my wife is, and her whole family have always been into birthdays. So the house is decorated with balloons and streamers and all that. But
nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, happy birthday. I'll make sure we get you flowers.
I wanted to bring up one other thing though too. We have the booster meeting coming up this coming Monday, May 10th, I believe. People always ask, Joe, how can I help you out? Honestly, the best way to help me out is to join Athletic Boosters, go to their meetings. We had our last one in person actually, and I think we're going to be slated to have the next one this coming Monday in person as well. That's the easiest, best, number one way to kind of help me out, and more so help out the kids, because they're the ones that benefit from everything that Athletic Boosters does. And the team, it's a small team right now. They're a mighty team, but they put in a lot of work. And I know you volunteered your time at the snack shack for baseball games, but they always could use more volunteers. They always put on a golf tournament. This year they're trying to do that, but the last one kind of drained out because it's such a small team. So If you want to help out Templeton High School athletics, number one way is to come to that meeting on May 10th at 6 p.m. You can email me, or you can email the boosters specifically. They have a tab on the athletics webpage and kind of get more information. But this is my plea to anyone that's watching this or stays in tune with your show, Mike, that they'll come out and help out the athletic boosters.
Yeah, and you got to think we've got probably, what is it, 200 student athletes, do you think?
Yeah, maybe a little bit north of that, actually.
Okay, so
even in a year like this,
let's call it 300 then.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we can't have at least 100 members of the boosters that, and if we had 100 members of boosters and then 20% of them show up to meetings, that's 20. That's 12 more than are currently showing up, right?
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, any and all support is needed. That's a good call.
And
throwing that out.
Even the incoming 8th graders, the incoming freshmen, or anyone in the community can come and be a part of these meetings. They're public meetings. They don't get the Zoom link like the district does, but anyone can come to these meetings and, we have problems like everyone does, and we kind of all sit together and try to come up with the best solution of these problems. So the more ideas that get thrown out there to kind of conquer these problems is the better. So I hope some more new faces come Monday night.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Okay, well, I'll make sure to remind everybody on Monday morning too. It's May 10th. Where are the meetings located?
So we were doing Zoom. This last one, we actually did it at the Snack Shack at the high school. So where the Booster Snack Shack is, we did it there. There's some tables there that we kind of sat in. Well, I guess when I connect with you on Monday morning, if we're still doing that, then we'll have more details, and maybe we can get Melinda on here to also send out a plea.
Perfect.
She's out there volunteering while her son's playing in a baseball game, so she's taking away time from watching her own kid by trying to support that organization. So the more the merrier.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll bring that up again on Monday. I do have one last question for you. In Rigetti yesterday, I noticed that masks were optional. So is that a Santa Barbara County thing because it was in Santa Maria?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to follow up on that.
Yeah, I know, and maybe not for spectators, but for the athletes themselves.
Yeah, the spectators for all sports should still be wearing masks. The volleyball one, I'd have to follow up. I have no problem reaching out to their athletic director and finding out kind of the decision that was made for that, so that way we can kind of do the same.
Yeah, well, and again, it might be a county, because it's a different county. But I thought it was
a district. So
yeah, exactly. So okay, well, cool. All right, Joe, I will see you this afternoon. Thanks for spending time with us this morning.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for having me.
And congratulations on successfully going and appealing for us to go back down to the Ocean League. I think the kids are going to thank us all thank you for being able to do that.
Yeah, it should be good and provide some competitive games next year.
Awesome. All right, Coach. Thanks.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. All right, that's Joe Farley, athletic director. And now switching gears, Anthony, take over for a minute. I think I'm going to sneeze. My nose is like tickling. Maybe I'm not going to sneeze. It's 8:58. We are, this is the Morning Buzz. It's Wednesday, Cinco de Mayo. It's the 5th of May, 2021. We are winding down the show. I've got Mr. Anthony Reed on from Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. Anthony gives us all of the latest and greatest incidents and actions happening and being reported in the North County. And so far, so good. This week, it's been a slow news week. Anything happening this morning that we need to know about?
So if you want to bring up my page real quick, Mike, I want to show you something on there that just happened like within the last half an hour.
All right, bear with me here. Let me Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. Okay. This guy. Traffic collision.
Yeah, so this call was kind of interesting how it came out. It came out the Paso dispatch center received the call from a person in the community out on Lake Nacimiento Road, saying that there was a possible DUI driver that was headed into town that was reportedly swerving into oncoming traffic. And as it came out, as the officers were responding, it came out to be then at that point a traffic collision, not head on, but they did go off the roadway, and the vehicle did overturn. The vehicle is reported to be on its roof, which, as you can see the location, it's Lake Nacimiento and Adelaide Road, which is just a little bit east of town on Lake Nacimiento Lake Road. And so, the person was extricated by a bystander until fire officials and emergency crews can get on scene. And once they were on scene, it was reported to be a vegetation fire starting, but that wasn't the case. The car was just smoking from impact, and traffic is stopped in the area as they investigate the crash and as to why it happened. So if you have pulse point, it might have came out as well as a vegetation fire, which obviously it did not, because I didn't hear any more on that. But it did, in fact, occur with a traffic collision that was in that area. So the person that was driving the car is reportedly in an ambulance and supposedly being transported, so for possible injuries. So that's kind of where that is there. So much over that. That's what's been going on in the last half an hour.
Okay. All right. Well,
kind of interesting.
Yeah. Keep us posted on what happens with that. That's actually about, I don't know, 1,000 feet from the house I grew up in, right there on that little intersection. So, cool. Okay. Well, we had a good show today. It was a quick one. Lots of stuff happening. Nobody answered the question where the best chicken in Paso was. Eric Lewis told me there's 6 grams of protein in an egg. And then he said he learned that in Google. So thanks, Google, for all of that. Laura and Richard Riddle commented asking about summer school status. I'm assuming you want to know any update with what's happening with summer school. If that's the case, I'll make sure I get that on the list of questions to ask the superintendent and Mr. Burnett next week, so we can get an update on summer school. But I will make sure that we do that. So with that being said, that's the morning buzz. It's the Cinco de Mayo edition. Are you gonna have some Mexican food today? What are you gonna do?
After physical therapy, I may go to Lorena Market and grab something over there. So
okay, all right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Enjoy your day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. See you tomorrow.
All right, see you, Anthony. All right, Anthony is Paso Robles Incidents and Actions, and I am Mike Brady. I am the host of the Morning Buzz, and we did it. We got through the Cinco de Mayo edition, and so hope you guys all have a great day today. I hope you're safe. I hope you are being responsible, and I hope you're celebrating somebody else in your life and being kind to them. So